the Orthodox culture that I grew up in, it's an accepted custom for women to cover their hair after they are married. Some wear scarves, some wear hats, and some wear shaytels, wigs. I recently visited Yali's Wigs in Cedarhurst, Long Island.
Okay, let me put this on her. And then, it's actually funny. Every time she comes here, she's like, you should make a reality show, Mister. The things that take place in here. And of all people to come in here the day that you're here, it's so funny.
Do you want to come in? Okay, go on one sec.
I grew up in a family of 10. And I had a mother that is an amazing wig stylist, but she does, in the 1970s and 80s, wigs were very different than they are today. They were more like mass-produced and much lower quality. And then there were a few companies that made custom-made wigs. Hold on one second.
115. Okay, sure, 115.
If you told me right now that I could take this off my head, it would be equivalent of me taking my top off. Exactly the same. I would feel completely naked. Completely.
You know, I went to yeshiva my whole life, and I learned that it's Jewish law to cover your hair when you get married, and I started covering my hair when I got married, and that's really it.
It's so interesting. I didn't even realize till the past few years, hair really makes the woman.
I try in general to do what, you know, I try to follow Jewish laws as best as I can in all aspects, you know.
Hair and wigs make the woman.
She got married August 1st, and she hasn't started making her wig yet.
All the newest styles, and I read up on everything, and I follow all the magazines to know what the latest trends are. And right now, I'm actually, even though I do wigs for Orthodox people, I'm more into doing medical. So I find a lot of satisfaction in it.
It has little clips here. And my son, he was a baby, and he grabbed the shaytel and he pulled it off. So it didn't come off, which is fine, but it went like this. Okay? I thought I was gonna die. So embarrassed.
She's like, I know, I'm really not looking to spend a lot, but my hair is blonde and I want it super long and custom.
And she needs it by when?
August 1st. So you have a month. A month and a half.
She has to come in and we have to see her. We have to see her before we give her a price, yes.
Can you give her a range?
Tell her the range of what we charge for wigs, and then...
I grew up in Bar Park. That is like super Orthodox.
But then this morning I get a picture from my client with how she looks in her wig at work. Here.
Oh my God, she looks gorgeous.
Nice hair makes the wig look. I never liked my hair, and now I put my wig on and I feel great.
To look like it's not a wig. That's the goal.
Right here, it looks just like my hair. Yali was just saying that people come in here and want to look just like themselves, so that's what I wanted. So yeah, this is the part. Can you see the part over my sunglasses?
Take your sunglasses off so I can see it.
You see? That's all fake. And it's very close up. It's like right here.
She pulls out a few hairs in the
So
front
right,
so
it's
that
like
it has the illusion
just
that
this
it's
little
going
bit
red
that's
around.
showing right there, yeah.
Like she just asked if we can make a wig by August. Yes, we can, because I make them here. Fine, so down here is where they're all making wigs. This is Martha. She's filling in the bangs on a wig. Look how gorgeous this wig is. It's stunning. It's long like red hair. It's kind of in its raw state. It has to still get washed and cut. She's filling in the bang line, but this is the hair color. You see how it's like auburny? I do a lot of specialty colors.
Well, it matches exactly the color, exactly the everything. Texture is exactly the same, so it works.
So I wasn't really looking exactly for a job because my hours aren't that great, so I knew no one would want to really hire me. But Yali needed somebody, and she was talking to her clients, and someone said, why don't you give Katie Wigs a call? So she called me. Put it on, gather a little bit of hair, and then just comb it through.
A woman wears a wig, a covering on her head, because it reminds her that she's married.
So I've been covering my hair for several years. So for me, now my hair is really erva, it's really nakedness. And it's quite special actually between me and my husband to have that little extra pepper on top of her eggs. You know what I mean?
And her hair is special just for her husband.
Oh my gosh. Oh yeah, the power hair, are you kidding me? It really is important.
Because some of these wigs look too wiggy because they're so big on top, so like too much hair over there. So Yali tries to keep it that it's flatter, like flatter against your head.
You can make the most beautiful woman look like garbage without hair.
That's why the key is to not make it too thick. To keep it, you know, very close to the head and thinner on the sides, like natural hair is.
The whole Orthodox culture is built around making marriages perfect, and the laws are all there to keep your marriage healthy and strong, so that it should keep the divorce level down, divorce rate down. Unfortunately, it doesn't.
There's been accidents when people iron them like their own hair. Like they might clip their ear.
I think it's easier to do it on a
Off,
head
right,
than,
it's on a head,
than
you
on
can't,
a
like,
person.
see the back of your head.
And also, you're always afraid of like burning them. I did it yesterday, and I was like so afraid to burn her face.
Your hair is supposed to be special for your husband, and only your husband is allowed to see your hair.
We need plans about it.
That's really all it's all about. Your husband is supposed to be the only one that gets to see it, and it's special for him. And then Hasidic women actually shave their heads. We don't shave our heads. And actually, when I'm doing wigs, I always tell the girls to take better care of their own heads.
Yeah, the comb keeps it straight. So if there's any knots, then it won't be as smooth.
A beautiful Jewish marriage is really beautiful. This neighborhood for a Jewish person to live here is unbelievable. We have everything you could possibly need. Anything. The schools are abundant. All different levels of Orthodoxy, from modern Orthodox to extremely Orthodox to co-ed and not co-ed. Look here, look at everybody walking by. So all like Jewish people taking walks during the day.
5 towns, I grew up here. Been here my whole life. It's the greatest.
And the 5 towns are Far Rockaway, Lawrence, Cedarhurst, Inwood, and Woodman.
Beautiful. It's a community. You know, it's a great place to shop and eat, and it's safe. It's a great place.
There's probably, I think, about 6,000 Jewish families living here. You could probably walk right 10 miles that's covered by Jewish people.
It's a lot of families.
Very large, yes, very, very large. One of the highlights of working on Central Avenue in a Jewish community is we have the best restaurants ever.
Oh, and
There's tons of them, and every day you could just, we want breakfast, lunch, and supper. You could change meals all day long. It's a good community, actually.
You can do nothing but eat.
Oh, hi, it's Yali. How are you? I want to order lunch. Hi, I want half roast duck with lemon sauce and string beans and French fries.
you know, if you like go to different neighborhoods, you see people covering their hairs with like, you know, kerchiefs or, you know, things that may be considered unattractive. But I guess if women out here want to look a certain way, then people like Yali are making that available.
I love covering my hair. I
You
covered my hair before I got married. Before I even learned about covering your hair through Judaism, I covered my hair because it's so thin and wispy, and it tickles me, it irritates me, it falls out all over the place. At least this way, I have my hair up all day, and I don't have to mess with it and fuss with it.
But do you feel like you look good? See, I feel like I look like an idiot without.
I don't feel like
Not idiot. I just feel I look ugly. Like my forehead's big, I gotta like pull it down, but then you look like a goofball, so you whatever. I don't know, it just doesn't feel right.
I don't feel like I look bad. My facial features are still there, and like, what does it care about what you look to anybody else? It matters what you look to yourself and to your husband.
But that's
at
the
the
thing,
end of the day.
at the end of the day, when you take off your suit and you look like your hair's been covered, it's knotty, it's matted, it's flat, it's gross, it's not brushed or pretty or even
My hair doesn't look so bad.
Now, from history and archaeology, there was something that women would wear, like a crown that they would wear on their head.
No, some people want to look better than themselves. Some people like, if I'm going to do it, make it long and gorgeous and shiny.
Exactly. And
Or
like,
change the color to the color that I was never able to achieve. But I do see a lot of people come in and they just make me look exactly the way I look. I'm very happy with the way I look. And Naomi liked the way her hair fell, and she wanted it to fall the same way her hair fell.
But there are different customs, and they were taken upon and became halakha. And you know, when the Jews from Morocco came to Israel, they didn't have the same hair covers of the Jews that came from the Holocaust. And when you had the American Jewry, Rabbi Soloveitchik's wife didn't cover her hair, right? You had like the Orthodox woman, you know, in my dad's generation would wear sleeveless, which is today totally not accepted.
So did you discuss with the boss?
A lot of halacha has to do with like what the society around it, what the society around the Jews were, and you know, partially it was differentiating.
We started making her this wig probably 2 months ago, and I want her to enjoy it already. And today she's finally going to take it home. Yeah.
Well, some women don't need hair, for sure. But most women do. It really helps.
Because it is real hair, so you have to be careful with it, treat it well. But people also have to be comfortable with it. But, you know, do what you want. Don't be afraid to.
We buy the hair in its raw stages in these colors. See, like the different shades of reds and everything?
Sure, you could style wigs anyway. We've done brides, we've done like mothers of the bride, like wear their hair up. You could put it up, you could do anything. You could make braids.
This is another wig she was working on here. It's thicker and layered, and the person wants no bangs in the front, which that, by the way, is artistry.
For some people, they request the very, very thick wigs because they're used to their very thick hair, and we do that. But most people want it a little flatter because they don't want to have to deal with so much hair.
What is hair, Kabbalistically?
So first of all, what is Kabbalistically?
In the community I grew up in, covering your hair was something that was just expected, and when I got married, I just followed the custom. But the reality is, I never felt like myself when my hair was covered.
Making a wig without bangs and looking natural in the front is really the hardest part, because wigs from the back always look good. It's the front that's the hardest part to make it look good.
Marriage is a powerful statement. It says to the world that you are connected to someone else in a profound way. Is covering our hair a visual sign to let others know that we're taken, an easy stamp of ownership? I like the idea of a marriage tie being so strong that we wear a visual symbol to honor that relationship. But why our hair?
The way I see it, like mysticism is like mist. It's like what you don't see.
It says in Bereshis, Genesis 9:16, Ve'el ishech teshukasech, vehu yimshal bach. Your craving shall be for your husband, and he shall rule over you. This was one of the curses that was given to Eve as a result of eating from the tree of knowledge.
Here's long and blonde and streaky and luscious hair.
And the whole Bible is full of stories of mistakes.
What was the sin of knowledge? One source says that Eve's sin was actually having sex with a snake, betraying Adam.
The first sin, and there's some commentary that God had a mistake, and
Depende.
Was it a betrayal of Hashem's trust? It's so confusing.
There's a cap, and you weave it into each individual hair into the cap.
mistakes are actually really important, and it's all very human.
No, it be more time, you know.
Like months and months?
Yes.
Which is very interesting because the Jewish word in the Bible for coming together is ladat, to know.
This is natural bodied hair, and this is more straight hair.
Every relationship focuses both on validating and on knowing.
She's making a wig for a girl from LA. She flew in to order a wig. We made her one wig, and then she went around to look for another one, and then she got spoiled by the color that we had. So she asked us to make her another wig and ship it out to her.
Validating is like telling the other that he's great, he's beautiful, he's amazing.
I made this wig for somebody years ago. It's a short blonde wig. She asked us to take out the bangs and start fresh. She's changing her style. So we took out the front hairline, and we're putting in fresh hair, and it's going to be like all back without bangs. So look at this color.
Knowing is just knowing for the sake of knowing and opening up and sharing.
It's finally finished. Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh, it's amazing. Yeah. Somebody's going to enjoy that one.
Because you have to make it look like it's growing out of the person's head. That's the goal. Like last week we told somebody that their wig had to be perfect. She's like, nothing in life is perfect. We're like, no, here it has to be perfect. Yeah, I'm divorced and I cover my hair because the reason why we cover our hair is they say you're supposed to have special children. There was a story of a woman that never let the walls of her house see her hair uncovered, and her son grew up to be like something very special in the temples. This is probably happened like in 1600 BCE or something. Anyway, so we go by these stories from the Talmud, that these are the type of stories that we follow. that there's something sacred about marriage and something sacred about feeling that you're special and you're covered up. It's the reason why we cover our bodies up, so that we should feel that we're special.
I wouldn't see a Hasidic person dressed like me.
Just like, how are you dressed? Do you mind if I
I'm wearing a denim skirt. That's
Yeah.
a little bit, I don't know, not Jewish for them. It's a little bit more like the, I don't know, the modern world.
So it has to cover your knee?
Yeah. So everyone has their own take on it. I have friends who are the whole spectrum. Nowadays, most modern Orthodox, especially in Long Island, they cover their elbows, their collarbones, their knees. You know, most wear skirts, but I know religious people, you know, who keep Shabbos kosher, but they wear pants. You know, everyone has their own, they find their own way, you know?
This would be appropriate because the length would be about right here. So that would be, you know, an appropriate skirt length.
It was definitely a personal struggle when I went to seminary and I learned and I grew. And that's where I am today, but I wasn't always like this, you know, I was a little bit more modern.
What makes that shirt sneeze?
The neckline.
I went to seminary and they teach you like the beauty of being modest, and they teach you, you know, just why it's better to be modest, and it's not like saying that you're lower than men, or, you know, it's showing that maybe you should cover up a little bit more so you could show your inner beauty.
It would cover your collarbone, and it's a 3/4 sleeve, so it'll, you know, cover the knee, cover the elbow.
Yeah, I wore pants when I was younger, you know, jeans.
Like if it were, you know, like plunging, then it would not be okay. And the sleeves are not like mine, which are not okay.
You still look gorgeous, you still look beautiful, you know?
Happens to be in today's day and age, fashion has become easier because we just put t-shirts underneath our sleeveless dresses.
Because I do cover, you know, up my neckline, like up to here, and cover my elbows. At this point, I can go into any store and buy almost any shirt like this, you know.
Yeah, years ago you had to only go to special stores. Now you can really shop anywhere. Like my dresses from Lord & Taylor. It's not that complicated, but
this is Kikiriki. These are cotton spandex, so they're nice because they're fitted, but they're really comfortable, especially in the summer.
There's a lot of stores around here that sell clothing catering to Orthodox people.
It's mostly like trendy, but sneeze.
I don't miss it. Like, I'm very comfortable in skirts. I'm happier like this.
The thing that I really like the most is when girls come in here with like stunning hair and they don't want to cover their hair, and they come to me and we make them wigs exactly the way they look, and they tell me, no, I even like it better than my hair. It doesn't freeze up in the rain, you know. So
also like women's gyms, you know, where you could dress, you know, in leggings or shorts and, you know, feel free. But no, I mean, I don't miss it, really. I'm happy like this. You have to find ways to look pretty, even when you're, you know, dressed modest.
Yeah. So now I'm wearing a very long sleeve, comes out to my wrist, and a high neck, completely covers my collarbone, and would be acceptable to anybody, any sneeze standards.
Still, you know, wear the latest fashions, and you just make it work, and you see what your friends are wearing, and gives you ideas. But it's definitely hard, you know.
this is a typical like young Orthodox girl pushing her baby carriage.
21.
You're 21? Do you have a boyfriend?
Yeah.
I went to like an all-girls basic school.
It's a very religious school, a lot of rules, very strict.
And then I continued to a basic high school, and I went to seminary in Israel.
Well, my family's modern Orthodox.
It's an Orthodox all-girls school where they teach, you know, Torah and how to live your life as a Jewish mother. And that's really, I think, their focus. Like how, because, you know, the mother is like the woman of the household and she raises the children. Most, you know, so.
No, they don't like to be showy. They'll wear, like, maybe the girls will wear pastels, but, you know, they're a lot more modest.
I'm in school, like in college, and
How old are you?
I'm 21.
You're 30?
Yeah.
How old when you got married?
21.
How old when you got married?
I was 20, I It took me a second to remember. Yeah, I was 20.
Some of my friends were already married at that age and some were not. I wasn't like, the start of the trend or anything.
So how long did you guys date for?
3 months.
Really?
Wait, so how old are you?
33.
And how old when you got married?
22.
How old was he?
He was 25.
And you were 21?
And I was 21. About like 3.5 years apart or so.
The past 2 weeks, it's wedding season, and it's been really, really busy. People don't get married right before Passover.
I went out with one guy and married him.
It was from, I think, the destruction of one of the temples. Why are you guys laughing? Do you want to tell them about Spira?
My little sister and his little sister were best friends. He's not from the same community. You don't go to daven at the same shul. You obviously don't go to the same school. So we met like a few times on occasion and started talking. But I was like just graduating high school and going to Israel for the year. And then I came home and then I wasn't exactly ready to just get married yet. There are certain guidelines that we live our life, and you can't, there's certain like halachos that you can be too involved with a boy. So being friends with a guy usually leads to certain things. So, it's best to stay away from that. That's why girls' schools are all girls' schools, boys' schools are all boys' schools. And when the time's right to get married, then you start looking for someone and you marry the person. Well, none of my close friends who aren't married have boyfriends, so. Well, I think, Shomer Nagia is you can't, it's more than not having relations with the boy, it's you can't touch the boy. Don't do anything that comes close to doing that. It seemed almost natural since if that's what's done. Put all the fences up around it so it's not touching the boy.
Maybe after the sin, Adam and Chava knew what a real relationship was. They felt the power of sex, of giving sexual love to another person.
At all, like nothing? At all, nothing.
Viktor Frankl, in like his book, Man in Search of Meaning, like followed people in the Holocaust, right? And like what kept them is like the meaning in their life, right? That meaning is beautiful.
You would never go on a date with somebody and afterwards hug and kiss goodbye.
And for them, it's meaningful, and meaning is more than anything. Meaning keeps you alive.
Your friends actually really follow those rules?
Especially ones that are dating, you wouldn't want to do that. Like, you're looking to marry the person, why would you get something like that, like, involved? Well, girls are so full of emotions that I think it makes you feel all immediately, like, closer to the person and that.
Not like a momentary pleasure. It's like something to live up to. Like people in the Holocaust that survived are people that had someone that they wanted to see.
It keeps saying that over and over in the Torah, that God is jealous. Is that for real? Does he really want our attention that badly? It's so weird when we can't see him directly. Maybe it's about feeling him. Can Hashem be an emotion? Can it be love? That's so confusing when love has all these boundaries.
When you go on dates to get married, when people do go on dates to get married, you're going there to see if you you want to marry this person, be with this person for the rest of your life.
I actually firmly believe in it, and I think it's actually a beautiful thing.
It's about a deeper connection, seeing if you have the same, what your goals are, how you want to live your life. It's not silly to get other things involved.
Okay. But the essential piece is being married to myself, and how myself is intimately connected with Hashem.
And I don't know the laws, so you're asking the wrong person.
Meaning is like a higher, it's like something higher than your life, like almost, or...
Having a self is essential in order to love someone else. Although I would love nothing more than to just melt into love. That is just the best feeling in the entire world.
Touch. So therefore...
Cover of my soul. Please say that you can come inside. I can tell you, darling, all these things are true. She told me she can't wait to find you. What's it gonna take to make you see? What's it gonna take for you to believe me that I'm deep inside the part that never dies?